Dominating Life, The Counterattack of the Reborn 3. Chapter 1, The Fork of Fate. My name is Shen Chen, a name that is too ordinary to be ordinary. But this name carries the joys and sorrows of the 3 generations. That day, the delivery room was white, and before I opened my eyes, a cold voice sounded in my head. The optimal selection system is activated. Please choose the family where you were born. 2 options popped up on the screen. 1. Ordinary biological parents, ordinary but stable life. 2. Wealthy non-biological parents with well-off families but hidden crises. Without hesitation, I ordered the second option and thought to myself, what I want is a better future. At that moment, I didn't know what hell this road would lead to. Chapter 2, The Shadow Behind the Glory. I grew up in the Shen family, the wealthiest family in the city. His father, Shen Jiaz, is a business tycoon, and his mother, Ye Qingyun, is a well-known patron of the arts. On the surface, it is glamorous, but it hides countless treacherous undercurrents. When I was 7 years old, I was prompted by the system, if you find a threat, it is recommended to strengthen your defenses. I didn't understand what a threat was, until that day, I saw my father coldly instructing someone to attack an old man in my birth mother's house. You must know that you are not their biological son. My father's words pierced my heart like an ice knife. At that moment, I understood the secret of my identity and the ruthlessness behind non-biological. In my first life, I died a tragic death in a murder, and the cause of death was a power struggle within the family. Chapter 3, The Second Rebirth, With the Seeds of Revenge. When I woke up for the second time, it was still Shen Chen, but the system prompted with one more sentence, unlocked hidden memories, start reversing the plan. In this life, I decided not to be a passive pawn anymore. I began to secretly collect evidence, analyze every move of family members, and even learn financial means, using the information given by the system to rise rapidly in the shopping mall. However, the undercurrent of the family is becoming more and more turbulent, and even her mother Ye Qingyun is involved, and she seems to be hiding deeper secrets. Everything seemed unsolvable until the system unexpectedly opened a new branch, finding the lost fragments of family truth. Chapter 4, Bizarre Fragments of Truth. Through the system's guidance, I stepped into the secret basement of the Shen family, which was filled with dusty archives and old tapes. One of the recordings shocked me. My grandfather Shen Tianyao was actually related to a mysterious organization that secretly indulged in the city's economy and politics, and even planned my father's promotion. And my dead biological mother was actually a key figure in the resistance to the organization. As I was immersed in the truth, an eerie image came into view: a black crow with 3 eyes, symbolizing an ominous omen. System warning, danger is approaching, please be prepared. Chapter 5, The Chess Game of Turnaround. As the conflicts within the family intensified, I used the future trends predicted by the system to set up a net in the stock market and politics. I gradually took control of the family, but it also attracted more enemies. At a banquet, I was framed as a traitor, and the entire Shen family almost collapsed. Just when I was desperate, the system activated the special selection function again. Do you want to start the third rebirth? I firmly chose yes. Chapter 6, The Dawn of the Third Life. This time, I was reborn in a parallel world. My identity was Shen Chen, but my family background became an ordinary salaryman. Without wealth and power, I have 2 most important things: complete memory and system. I began to use a new perspective to meet new people and re-establish my power. The strongest skill given by the system, network building, allows me to quickly absorb resources in this world. I met 2 important people, Li Mu, a calm and wise lawyer, and Gu Fei, a mysterious hacker. They became indispensable partners on my road to revenge. Chapter 7, The Alliance in the Shadows. Through Li Mu's legal means and Gu Fei's hacking skills, I uncovered the shadow of the mysterious organization in this world. The name of the organization is Shadow Stream, and they have a presence in major companies and political executives around the world. And the Shen family is still involved, and has even become an important stronghold of Shadow Flow. I formed a secret alliance with Li Mu and Gu Fei and began to fight back against this dark force. Chapter 8. The Crack in the Bizarre World. Just as we are getting closer to the truth step by step, reality begins to change. There are time cracks in the city, and the streets and buildings are bright and dark, as if different timelines are intertwined. System warning, time anomalies, intergenerational interference. I found myself not only fighting against the organization, but also preventing the catastrophe caused by the intersection of multiple worlds. And behind these cracks is the shadow of the three-eyed crow. Chapter 9, The Final Showdown of Fate. On the night of the decisive battle, the Shen family's secret base became a battlefield. We are fighting to the death with Shadow Stream. Li Mu used legal means to suppress the organization's economic network, Gu Fei invaded the other party's host to reveal the truth, and I fought with wisdom and courage on the front line. Just as victory was in sight, the three-eyed crow suddenly transformed into a human form and appeared in front of me. He was the true leader of the Shadow Stream, a being who controlled the power of time. His goal is to destroy multiple worlds and reshape an order ruled by him. Chapter 10. Reinvent your life and dominate the future. Faced with such an enemy, I mobilized the ultimate ability of the system, destiny control, and designed a reversal plan through multiple timelines intertwined. In the torrent of time, I was reborn many times, using every experience to crack the other party's tricks. In the end, I sealed the three-eyed crow outside of eternal time and space, destroying the core organization of the Shadow Stream. The Shen family reshuffled, and I finally took control of my own destiny. In this life, I am no longer a chosen pawn, but the master of life. Chapter 11. The Embers of the Afterglow That Have Not Dissipated. After the three-eyed crow was sealed, the crisis of the Shen family seemed to be temporarily lifted, and the city gradually returned to calm. But I know that this calm is just the calm before the storm. The system reads, warning, the remnants are active, and the potential threat cannot be ignored. Those dark organizations left behind by the Shadow Stream are like underground snakes and insects, ready to move, waiting for the opportunity to fight back. Li Mu and Gu Fei brought news that the new forces outside the stronghold were growing rapidly, and their style of action was completely different from that of the Shadow Stream, more cunning and insidious. I understand that the real war has just begun. Chapter 12. The undercurrent is surging. The Shen family's corporate empire has entered a period of restructuring, and as the new head, I must not only stabilize the internal, but also face the external storm. During a secret meeting, Li Mu whispered, "We have received anonymous information that a new enemy is from the international black market, named Crimson Flame Sect. The Crimson Flame Sect is symbolized by flame, acting fiercely and brutally, and there is a bigger secret behind it. They are trying to control a mysterious drug that can control people's hearts." Gu Fei used hacking skills to trace the source of the drug and found that it was related to the pharmaceutical giants that the Shen family had cooperated with. I was silent for a long time, and my eyes lit up with fighting spirit. No matter how dangerous the road ahead is, I will protect this family and make the Shen family invincible forever. Chapter 13. The Covenant Under the Flames. In order to face the Red Flame Sect, I gathered elites from all walks of life to form a new alliance. Li Mu became the legal advisor, Gu Fei served as the intelligence director, and several masters I recruited from the system's recommendation. At a secret alliance gathering, we set a rule: leave no dead ends, don't trust anyone, only strength can bring security. The flames of the Red Flame Sect gradually spread, not only burning conspiracies in the shopping malls, but also winning over a group of corrupt officials in the political world in an attempt to attack our foundations. That night, I looked at the night sky in my office, the stars twinkled, and I thought to myself, this time, I must do my best to turn the flames to ashes under my feet. Chapter 14. the conspiracy of forbidden potions. According to the information cracked by Gu Fei, the drugs made by the Red Flame sect can not only control emotions, but also change people's memories and will. This drug has penetrated into all corners of society and even sneaked into our lives. In an accident, I found that my cronies were behaving abnormally and were suspected of being controlled by drugs. I was painfully aware that the enemy had entered my circle of most trust. To this end, I strengthened the safety inspection of the people around me and personally led the team deep into the enemy pharmaceutical factory in an attempt to destroy their core equipment in one fell swoop. Chapter 15. Trading in the Abyss. The factory infiltration was so intense that I almost fell into an ambush. At the last moment, Gu Fei provided remote support from the shadows to help me crack the alarm system. Just as I was about to evacuate, the mysterious leader of the Red Flame sect appeared, a woman with a mask that covered her face. She called herself Flame Princess and possessed mysterious powers. She proposed the terms of the deal. Shen, we have a common enemy, so it is better to form an alliance and work together to create a new order. I smiled coldly. True order is guarded by the strong, not controlled by lies and drugs. Yan Ji's eyes revealed mockery, and her figure suddenly disappeared into the firelight. Chapter 16. Multiple Betrayals. Flame Ji's words lingered in my head, and some intuition told me that it was not just a simple opposition. At this moment, my trust was broken again. Li Mu was arrested on the grounds that the insider helped the Red Flame sect infiltrate. Gu Fei suspected that this was a bigger conspiracy and began to secretly investigate the corruption chain of the police and politicians. And I fell into the most difficult choice in my life. Should I believe in the innocence of my comrades in arms for many years, or should I reluctantly cut and protect the future of the Shen family? Chapter 17. The Crack of the Truth. After an overnight investigation, Gu Fei made a surprising discovery. Li Mu was planted for stolen goods, and there was a higher-level controller behind him. The controller was a part of the consciousness of the sealed three-eyed crow, incarnated as a powerful politician. My heart was shocked, which meant that the war was not really over. I gathered my allies and decided to fight a final battle to rid the ghost that had been dormant for years. Chapter 18. The Final Battle. We planned a double offensive of politics and intelligence, exposing the conspiracy of crow politicians on live television across the city. The leader of the Red Flame sect, Yan Ji, finally appeared, and she and the politician were the two wings of the same force. On the night of the decisive battle, the Shen family's mansion became a battlefield, and my allies and I met this final test in the fire and smoke. Li Mu regained his freedom with firm eyes. Gu Fei used his hacking skills to paralyze the enemy's communications, and the morale of the alliance was high. I and Flame Ji had a fierce duel in the hall. Flames and cold resourcefulness were intertwined, and finally I made Flame Ji kill each other with a plan, and the enemy completely collapsed. Chapter 19. A New Beginning. After the war, order was restored to the Shen family, and I learned to cherish and trust from it. The system reminds you for the last time, complete the task and obtain the title of Master of Destiny. But I know that fate will not always be in the hands of the system, but will be determined by my own choices. I turned around and walked towards the morning light outside the window, my heart filled with unprecedented peace and hope. This time, I want to live a life that truly belongs to me. Chapter 20. Rebuilding after the storm. After the collapse of the Red Flame sect and the collapse of the politicians' conspiracy, the Shen family seemed to be calm on the surface, but I know that there is no eternal peace. I began to promote the comprehensive reform of Shenjia enterprises, integrate resources, and establish a stricter risk control mechanism. At the same time, I worked closely with Li Mu and Gu Fei to establish a secret surveillance organization to guard against potential threats in the future. In life, I began to learn to slow down, re-examine my original dreams, and discover that the meaning of life is more than just power and control. Chapter 21. Reunion and Farewell. At an unexpected party, I met my biological mother in my first life, Su Jin. She has gone through vicissitudes, but she still remains gentle and strong. She didn't blame me for being taken away by the Shen family back then, but blessed me to go my own way. This reunion was like a redemption, allowing me to let go of the pain that had been entangled in my heart for many years. And Gu Fei decided to leave the Shen family to pursue her own dream, and we agreed that no matter where we are in the future, we will always be the most solid partner. Li Mu stayed by my side and became the most important support in my life. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 22, The Unknown Future. The system suddenly displayed, new challenges are coming, are you ready? I looked at the distant sky, smiled and pressed yes. Perhaps the future is still full of unknowns and difficulties, but I am no longer afraid. Rebirth in the third life taught me how to stand firm in the storm and how to find light in the darkness. The ropes of fate no longer bind me, but are the most powerful weapon in my hands. Underscore 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 un. Ending, the true meaning of dominating life. I stood on the highest floor of the Shen family, overlooking the entire city. This is my battlefield and my home. The rebirth of the third life taught me that true domination is not to control others, but to control oneself. I take a deep breath, letting my heartbeat resonate with the rhythm of the city. There is still a long way to go. But I am ready to create a legend that belongs to Shenzhen without fear of wind and rain. Underscore 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 un. Postscript. The story begins with an unnamed baby choice, to the tribulation of rebirth in 3 lives, and then to finally taking control of fate. Shen Chen used wisdom, courage, and firmness to rewrite his life and uncover the true face of the dark forces. Perhaps, each of us is facing choice and rebirth in our own lives. The story tells us that although fate is unpredictable, as long as we dare to face it and have the courage to change, everyone can become the master of their own life. Thank you for accompanying me on this journey. In the future, there will be more stories waiting for us to write.